this. What a big impact kill. A lone warrior on site, dipping out, making it even numbers after a great exit from Texture.
Boring map.
Crash popped at the beginning of the round, clearing out a little bit of that belong space. And then the knife, too, confirming where Zekin is. Such a really nice combo of utility.
Just no follow-up from the side of Gen G, so Zekin could hold his ground, keep all this info.
Yeah, but I don't think they wanted that. I think they wanted to find where Zekin was and then hit the other side of the map. The problem is that they're finding high ground, but not finding a kill.
Also left.
And so they've gotten out onto A. They should be able to get the spike down. Thought it might go over to Karam because he was one away from the pit, but it's Munchkin who sinks the spike into the soil of the site. 9,000. Understanding there is a little bit of presence. Elsis further up, but the rest of Sentinels not far off behind him. Again, these post plants that you mentioned, they've been so effective for Sentinels, but they're at a numbers disadvantage here. Can they convert again?
Oh my goodness.
That's such an aggressive lockdown. They've got to fight it. I don't think they can hold this back. Chunk QT has already gotten it to half. Tenz pushing forward, just the threat, just the distraction, getting the kill too. Locky and Karen left alone, and it's another round the way of Sentinels.
So easy.
Retakes of Sentinels. Need I say more? It's too good. That's 5 diffuses, 5 spikes being planted.
Tenz is too good.
And no conversion. And they're trying to swing together, but that aggressive lockdown, it created too much chaos. It creates a disconnect.
My brain is completely off right now.
That's him with brain off. I mean, I guess
He doesn't really need it on when he's just playing aim labs.
Yeah, when he's
holding the diffuser.
swinging out for him, trying to take the fight into A main, sure.
And it's slipping away right now for Gen G. Nightmares, flashbacks.
Yeah, but I still think I'm very curious to see what things look like on the other side of this timeout for Gen G. Because you think about how effective they've been on the other side of timeouts throughout really the entire year. I mean, this is not an area that they're unfamiliar with as far as trying to implement a plan in, as far as trying to change the tides in positions like this. I think the one problem is this might be the most important timeout Gen G will call all year. This might be the most important timeout of the year for them.
It is. And on the last map, that timeout brought them back into things. It got them back in the mix, gave them a chance, brought it to 13-9. They need to convert around. They're doing a great job of getting the spike planted, but it's the post plants that have been faltering. A disconnect sometimes, you know, Meteor playing too far up, Tenz getting a free pick on him. Then the numbers advantage sways the way of Sentinels. Maybe they all need to fight back sight together as a unit and be cohesive in the post plant.
Again, heavy presence towards A. Karen has his ult. Munchkin 2 away from his.
Another A hit. They understand that they've been getting the spike planted, like I said.
Yeah.
But this time, a change of pace, though. It's a flood. Oh my gosh, they're not ready for it, Doug.
Tenz ahead of the play.
Ayo, just now they play Lotus or
Brain off, but it seems to be working.
wow, later decided heaven.
Continue to crumble. It's just Texture and Munchkin left. You were just talking about how this has been successful for them. If you think about the equation for Gen G, this part has been fine. They've been able to get into post-plant positions, but they lose the post-plants this time. All of the resistance was met ahead of that.
It's not over yet, though. The wraparound from Texture, he's got 3 to the round.
He's going to have to win a B2, though. The ever-elusive Ace will have to deliver here if he wants to get Gen G on the board. He's getting it down to 1, and there it is! An Ace at the best possible time! Gen G are on the board.
What the heck?
And he's the guy you want stepping up in moments like this. The runner, the forefront. He's been getting entries all map long. But an ace from your star duelist, that can be what turns the tide. All of a sudden, the team has energy and life in them. But can you string more rounds together? Because you absolutely have to.
This time a bit of a different look for as much as they've been slamming their heads into the wall of A. A little bit more noise B here. And look at this lineup from Zekin. Far up, inserted, with op in hand.
An adaptation made. He was opping B the last 3 rounds. This time he wants in the mix. He wants in the action. He wants to take out Texture, who just got that ace. But he's going to have to deal with a lot here, and it looks like Gen G have a...
He's had a hot hand, but he's going to get flashed off of this first line, holding the next, almost landing the shot. Sasi understanding Texture so far up already. As Zekin switches to the classic, tries to get away, and Texture hunts him down! 2 kills found! Tenzo trying to punch back, grabs the op. Can he wield it the same way?
This one's just too hard, Doug. Surely, with the Viper's Pit invested, one player tries to save the operator, but they have a lot of time to work with. Maybe Spam can get you a pick.
And they've got money.
Oh, a little bit of a chip damage right there.
Make a play. Oh. Traded right back though. Tenz falls off once again, hits the ground. Truly, they just scoop that thing up and get away. Gen G will get their second, and again, it wasn't an ace, but it was Texture setting the pace.
He's so explosive in these moments.
And in a lot of ways, Dre, this feels really reminiscent to what we saw in Lotus. Was the score not 5-1 before things turned?
Yeah, after a timeout.
We're following the same forecast. This is where Gen G really put things together. And it seems like they're doing it again.
I mean, he dashed onto Zekin after Zekin whiffed that off shot. He just ran him down. And then this time around, the Viper's Pit made it easy to isolate fights. Saw Zelsis dropping there. Texture has his second round of jet knives.
11-5 from the star.
What a performance.
But the job's not finished.
Another AD fall.
But this time with a little bit of mid presence. We haven't seen them do this.
They will be matched by a turret.
Remember, they've been throwing the Smolly over the top 2 to clear it. I'm surprised they didn't try that here. It doesn't matter. Zelsis is dead.
Yeah, everyone was isolated. There's 3 members of Sentinels towards B. This is a perfect call from Gen G.
Yeah, you got to be careful here, though. These gunfights are hard to win. A little bit of damage was dealt, yes. But you still have some mid-presence, and Meteor beautifully escapes. He tries to get away. John QT has to clear this. And there was no safe space. That's a gorgeous call from Gen G.
That was unreal.
Combat is through.
Beautiful set play. The walk through mid.
They have to save again.
Yeah. Momentum now the way of Gen G. At what point do Sentinels call their own timeout?
It's got to be soon.
Oh my goodness.
Spike will go off. Gen G will get to 3. And again, I think it's a lot of the dynamic rounds that we've seen from the attack on the other side of Texture's ace have been splendid.
Yep. And now if you're Sentinels, you're worried about mid for the rest of the game. Is another split going to happen when they're doing their A default in the beginning? It opens up the map for the attacking side. You're able to be rent-free in the mind of Sentinels.
Yeah, and I realize now as Sentinels will call a timeout, give us a moment to discuss things. I was questioning in the moment. They've been dropping that molly to clear out the turret. You clear out that turret, and then the surprise is given away, right? Like, they tucked in the smoke. That was such a beautiful call.
Very high IQ play. Because you're 100% right. If that turret gets broken early on,
somebody has
Sentinels
to look.
has to pick it up.
Exactly.
You shift over a player at B. Them not breaking that turret at the timing they did as that A hit is coming through. There's still 3 players towards B. I mean, that's a wonderful call from Munchkin. He may be sitting at 1 kill, but his calling right now is phenomenal. And what a comeback into this half off the ace of Texture.
Very similar to what we saw in Lotus. 2 rounds now between these 2 Titans.
It's kind of insane, like Sentinels, with the way that they won all of those rounds in the retake scenarios and whatnot. Their economy has lasted 4 rounds. It's the 4th round, they still have money. But right here, it will be broken if Genji can win this round. Finally put Sen on an eco, perhaps. Such an uphill battle that Genji had to climb. And they're just one step away.
It seems like they've crested the mountain, or close to it. Almost at the summit. Look at the respect mid.
Yeah.
Look at Sasi's positioning. You're absolutely right.
Rent-free. Absolutely rent-free.
Zekin holding beeline with the op. Genji a much slower approach to this round.
Yeah. And this is Munchkin's highlight of IGLing, his changes of pace. I mean, the pace in the first 5 rounds, it was A hit, A hit, A hit, A hit, A hit. Now a very, very slow approach. But there's 4 members of Sen here, and that Viper's Pit is invested as well. You kind of have to flip sight in this moment.
They're not committing to this.
Oh,
They are now. That's going to flush out the pit. Or at least attempt to. Meanwhile, that dart tagging a couple of people. A really good idea of what's waiting on the other side. 30 seconds left. The spike's still not down. They realize that, I mean, the vast majority of the defenses are here. If they decide that they're going to go up any bit further, it's going to be with a fight. They're still alive. And still fragging. He's so far back. You're absolutely right. Lockie is tucked. Just waiting on the other side of the pit, waiting for his moment to strike.
What is that?
John finds him. That was the trap the entire time. They still have this pit up. They're still going to have to find a way around it. Zels is falling. Zekin 2. Can John 1v3? I don't know if there's enough time for this anyway. The tap, the spam, the 4th round for Genji.
That is an unbelievable round to win for Genji. Sentinels did so many things to make it hard on Genji to win that round.
Borderline impossible.
They pre-fired the Viper's Pit. Everything was leading the way of Sentinels, delaying that spike being planted. But Lakia, he may be sitting at 1 kill, but sneaking through there, getting the spike planted with Wingman was everything. Taking all that space back sight, it gives his team the information that John's not playing in the Viper's Pit. No one was
I like
there.
that fatty.
And it's such a risky play, but you gotta make those in times like this. And look, it's been A, so many rounds from Genji. Now they throw a B hit in.
The dart from the defense already clearing out back A. They've got a lot of space too. The alarm bot's gonna give the position away. They've got to understand that the timing window to hit B is now. Texture's already dashed back sight. Karon not far off.
Finished.
What?
And it traded 1 for 1. The fadeaway Molly finding value for Zelsis. The Lockie is still there.
Yeah, and so much space gathered as well on this A site.
I mean, they were just so decisive on the hit. But Texture down, Lakia swinging backside, only finding 1. But a valuable one at that. Now a 2v2.
What?
Tenz and Sasi. Sasi, who was heroic in these first couple of rounds, but has since gone quiet. Looking to deliver again against Munchkin and Meteor.
He's in such a good spot right now. He might get double swung.
No
though.
time.
There's no way anybody clears this, not in a position like that. Beautiful positioning for Meteor. Sasi tapping, down to 1, 6 bullets left. Munchkin's Molly's gonna buy some time, and that might be all he needs. As the clock continues to tick away, the spike continues to go off. It will expire as Genji has tied us up at 5. Unreal.
What was it that Zelsis said? Doesn't matter how you win, we won it. And their economy is flourishing, so they're chilling with that win. What a great timing to go B, though. Identifying that Sentinels have a bad economy. They finally broke it. They finally reached that summit, like you said. And they take fights, these long-range fights, towards B. They didn't expect the likes of the Vandal of Zekin in the beginning, and it being picked up from Tenz as well. But it makes a lot of sense, this approach from Genji.
Sentinels have bought into this again. Light armor and 5 rifles. The Thrash clears so much space.
They're able to pick that one up as well.
Yeah, but the defense is starting to attempt to bolster this site. No targets found. The spit out first. Texture being down is a big one. Sasi also striking. And they've thrown Genji into disarray. The 3 remaining members have to take a step back towards long. Tenz on the swing. And it's a threat, it's a tap, it's a bait. They've got to do something to try to dissuade and try to distract some of what Sentinels are trying to do here. But they've been pushed so far back, Gen.G cannot find an opening, they cannot find a way in. Sentinels punch back.
The B retake is something we haven't seen yet from Sentinels in this half. And they look damn good at it, just like they did today.
Oh.
I mean, we sung the praises of the retake so much. I'm not really surprised.
And if you look at the timeline, it's only been retake wins from Sentinels.
Yeah.
Spike diffuses across the board. And it's because they're not giving those long-range fights right away. They're waiting for teammates to group
Let's get
up.
7, let's get 7.
Waiting for Gen.G to fight. And Sentinels, they're wishing for a 7th round here. 2 big ultimates online for them. Lockdown, Hunter's Fury.
To close out the first half of Icebox, Texture popped his blades.
Korean
And
hottie.
right now, Gen.G, all signs leading towards another B default. But Sen aren't buying it. They hear that jet smoke. Second, he's been kind of quiet since last map.
Yeah. They just set Munchkin up to go get the Orb B to have his ult online for this round. Take flight.
Ults don't matter when you have the KO ultimate available to you.
And Sentinels should know that. That might be a free kill. It's just so tough to land that onto a Jets. But he finds Lakia. There's still a lot of threat from the attack here, though. They're not out of the woodworks yet. Oh, Meteor swinging into his death. I thought he had the timing on him, but he did not. Munchkin cannot do it on his own. Second asks for it. Sentinels get 7.
Not taking the bait, holding their ground at A that entire round, and taking the fight to Gen.G this time. What a change of pace at the very last round of the half.
But again, the exact same story that we saw on Lotus. It was Sentinels until it was Gen.G, and then it was 7-5 to take us to halftime. We'll see how Icebox closes out.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Two rounds separating these two squads. Elimination on the line. We've talked about the stakes, and we're going to talk about them again, because this is the year for both of these squads. This is where either you punch a ticket to playoffs, to the big dance where you're in top 8 and you're still in pursuit of the hardware, or you go home empty-handed. And that's a long off-season to think on.
And not only making the playoffs, but probably being a favorite going into playoffs as well. Both these teams champions of their own right this year. Sentinels, Madrid winners, Gen.G, Shanghai winners.
The only two teams to have tasted international glory in 2024.
Poetic.
Sentinels have the lead, but we know Gen.G, they do not go down without a fight.
Doug, Gen.G desperately need a pistol round win in this series. It might be just what takes them over the edge. And what an entry from Texture.
What a beautiful setup. The flash, the dart, everything was there, and Celsius is dead.
He's going for more, Doug.
Sentinels deciding that they still want to try to hit this site with Zekin up close. Munchkin getting the best of Tenz, but Texture only finding another. They're weak though. 22 HP on Zekin. Meteor and Karan still remain for Genji. There's a lot of time left in this round. They can slow things down. They can quietly instill all, well, that wasn't quiet, instill all the doubt into the minds of Genji.
And look at how the approach is so similar from both sides. Just group up, play together, push together.
Not even really interested in the orb. They want to find the timing. They want to capitalize on it.
Revealing area.
Attempting to clear out any utility that might have been there, and there is none because Meteor went for Sheriff.
And,
No armor.
And that dart will be seen on the mini-map from the side of Genji, so now they have a good idea. They're able to get a little bit more ahead. And remember, Zekin sitting low.
Yeah, Sasi's got to be careful here. He's the healthy one. He finds his one. But can the rookie deliver for Genji? Oh, he spotted the cape, betraying him twice.
I think he saw him. I think Sasi also saw him. Zekin turned instantly around.
Karen's having to accelerate here in a 1v2. Again, both targets weak. A stiff breeze will drop him, but that's now 4 pistols in a row. The way of Sentinels.
And last time around, Doug, Sasi was on the Gecko. This time, he's on Sova. He's known for it. And he looks so comfortable. He's 14-7, and his pistol round impact has been impeccable.
Spike down A.
That trade, by the way, of Zekin onto Texture was unbelievable. That was so much impact right there. Zekin was sitting at 1 shot. To connect a headshot in a moment like that when you're doing a 180. Insane.
To go from winning 1 pistol to winning all 4. I mean, what a drastic change. Zekin's gonna get gooped, Texture's gonna get aggressive, but it's a Guardian shoved down his throat. The gun difference here for Sentinel, so nice. There's really no way for Genji to put up a resistance. They don't have the weaponry. They don't have the health. They don't have the personnel.
Spike planted.
Karen's gonna get his one, but again, Zekin closes the round as Sentinels get to 9.
Very decisive anti-eco from Sen. Just full sending it A. It was a great flash from Lakia. But Zekin dropping the smoke on himself. Everybody else, the supporting cast of Sentinels, just spamming away, understanding that there's only one way Zekin dies in that moment. And it's Texture walking into that smoke. It's a pretty healthy buy right now from Sen. They didn't drop any rifles or any Spectres that they bought into the round. And it will be the first full buy for Genji.
Pacey take across the middle of the map. Every single member with crosshairs trained there too. Look at that, a 1-for-1. Zelsis takes a step back. You see the pings on the minimap. He's spotted here. This is a dangerous fight.
4 members taking a fight against Zelsis. That's full information relayed.
Texture so weak. But he somehow stays alive and somehow cleans up Tenz before he even hits the ground.
Standing ahead.
But of course, it's Sasi. Who else? He's been so steady. He's been so stalwart. He's been so successful here. And on the international stage again, trying to drag Sentinels across the finish line. Meteor's left in a 1v2, and Sasi gets another. Sentinels get to 10.
Sasi has been lights out this entire map. We keep praising his name.
17-7 is absurd.
And he almost has another Hunter's Fury. He did that all with a Bulldog. Texture, he just couldn't settle those shots on the Zelsis right away. It brought him low enough. But just cold.
Oh, the smirk and the wink. The guy knows what he's doing, man. 3 in a row for Sentinels. Another bonus converted. Genji, remember, they found success in this exact same play, but this time cautious now. 56 HP. He's got a rifle. One of only 2 that are standing up is Lakia. Gets aggressive, finds his one. They're dealing a lot of damage here, but as soon as there's a window for Genji, Sentinels slam it.
Planted.
How in the world does Meteor do this? Can he be a spark Can he be magic? Both targets found, but neither of them claimed. Zekin gets 3 as Sentinels get to 11. And the light slowly starting to fade for Gen G.
And Doug, the pace that Sentinels have been putting on Gen G in this attack half, it's been so quick. It's like they implemented Gen G's own game plan of their attack onto them. But the difference is, Sentinels on their defense played a full retake style. Gen G on their defense are trying to fight Sentinels, and it's just not going their way. When center on point, when they're dialed in, they have some of the most cracked aimers in the world.
Different look early on. Sentinels again with a lean towards A. Texture has an op this time, and that's exactly where they're headed. That tag is going to get 2. Munchkin gets his 1, though. Lakia trying to stay alive, has to take a step back as John looks to settle the shots, and it's Meteor who wins it out. Can Texture claw them back into this? It's Zelsis left alone, a 1v3. Lakia's weak, yes, but so is Zelsis. And he's outnumbered here. Meteor gets to 3 as Gen G gets 6.
It was a crazy ult from Saucy in the beginning of that round, getting a collat tag.
I thought he was going to get 2 there.
Yeah, right? But the movement, the finesse and backside, Texture finding a window of opportunity. Lakia seeing a barrel, a glimpse of something.
I didn't think it was a barrel. It might have just been the effects of the gun.
Meteor going huge as well in screens.
And I think that's the question now, right? Is who's going to step up for Gen G?
Placing swarm grenade.
In that round, it was Meteor. Texture still has the op.
Deploying drone.
And a different look from Sentinels. It's been all A, all day. Drone will get a tag. Saucy is truly in a flow state right now. He pre-fired that. Didn't even see him.
There's a lot of the defense here, including Texture and his op.
Yeah, Texture wants blood. He's hunting for it, but it looks like Sen have something cooked up. A little pop flash play, perhaps.
Will he find a target? He's taken the line. Nothing found yet.
Look at this from Sen.
This freeze is crazy, but the problem is they're on the clock. You can't stay in this state forever.
Look at the mini-map. Just biding their time. It's a free B site right now.
Second with a massive shot. The op is down. Lakia and Munchkin with 2 ults. Rotating back B, and there it is, the first popped. Saucy managing to get the spike down, though, as Tenz. Backside, plucking one down, trying to turn the flash, succeeds, but dies. Now numbers still the way of Sentinels. With the spike down, John QT looks to get away. A couple of parting shots, his threats as Lakia falls. Munchkin on his own, a 1v3. He's gotten it down to 1. A 1v1, can Munchkin deliver? Perhaps the biggest 1v1 of his career. The tap, there, the swing, but Zelsis walks out on top. Sentinels get to series point. He wasn't kidding. Sentinels said they were out for blood. That's exactly where they're at now.
Just gotta let it sit right now. Texture, too many targets to look at. Getting double swung in that moment. What a freeze, though, from the side of Sen. It made 2 members that were supporting Texture in that moment rotate all the way back into A site. No info was gathered towards B. The spots that Sentinels were hiding at, the operator doesn't get value in that moment. I don't blame Gen G for rotating over. It's very common for teams to leave a solo operator posted on that B line, but it's a false sense of security that was their demise. And this might be the last time out that Gen G will take at Champs 2024, Doug. Economy not looking too hot from the side of Gen G. And the ultimate economy is off the charts right now for Sentinels. You guys will all see it when this timeout ends.
I mean, what do you say to your team in a moment like this? If you're Gen G, What do you say if you're solo here?
You gotta pray.
All you can do is band together. It's exactly what you just saw the coaching staff do on the screen. There's the ults that you were just talking about. 4 of 5 the way of Sentinels. They've got everything they could possibly want. Remember, on Lotus, they got to the 1 yard line, and then Gen G put together a ferocious comeback, but it wasn't enough. Can they do it again? And can they close out the map here?
Sentinels are wise to something.
Yeah, the Dizzy going up. They know.
And you can't recover that either, Doug.
Exactly, that's not a Dizzy. They're going to be able to scoop back up.
Sentinels understood that they're at match point right now. It's elimination for Gen G. Players get desperate at a time like this. They want to force things, make things happen. That's why you see a red wall across the board. Nobody has really pushed past the barrier.
That desperation can be a fine line, though.
I mean, look at the mini-map. From the start of the game, it was 3 players towards A, a shift towards mid now. There was a dagger used.
Texture's going to be called upon to deliver. The hour has struck. Can he arrive? No! Saucy overwhelms him. With the rest of Sentinels behind him, they push forward, looking to take A. Can Karen hold the line? The flash in his face. He will crumble too. Now just 1 rifle up for Gen G. Hopes and dreams of a year. Potentially falling short right now. Yes, they raised the trophy in Shanghai. But it would have been so much sweeter to do so in front of a home crowd. But now, Lockie and Munchkin doing their best to keep this thing up, to keep it competitive. They're gonna have to navigate the pit. Every single member crumbling. Tonight, Soul burns red. Sentinels survive.
It feels like Sen always take the hard route, Doug. And this one was really, really tough. What a fight from Gen G. But it was Sen besting Gen G on the maps that they bested them in the final the last time around. Closing it out on Icebox.
Heartbreak for Gen G. The weight of the year. The expectations, the hopes, the aspirations. Coming up short. And so Gen G bow for the last time in 2024. Bested by Sentinels. Again, the only 2 teams that have tasted international glory this year. But it's Sentinels who come out on top. Nothing but love between the 2 players, between the 2 squads, as you can see on your screens.
A lot of respect.
Oh, a ton. From the coaching staff to the players, from top to bottom. Well, you can always count on Zelsis, Tad. Let me give you a moment. What a performance, man.
It was ridiculous. We said it in the last match against FPX. Once this team gets momentum, they're full steam forward, full train ahead. They're an unbelievably rehearsed squad.
Well, and the thing is, I think for Sentinels, as you think about stage 2 and you think about playoffs, for most of stage 2, we thought, okay, Sentinels are peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
They're going to head into champs, and they're going to head into champs strong, confident. They have a chance to make a run, but they hit a couple of stumbling blocks along the way, and we thought, okay, what team is showing up in Seoul? Is it going to be the stage 2 team, or is it going to be the playoffs team that struggled, that stumbled, that in a lot of ways failed to meet the expectations? But this is the Sentinels from Madrid. This is the Sentinels from stage 2.
And it's all going back to comfortability, going back to their old compositions, playing what they know, the tried and true. They look phenomenal in these moments. That was such a big moment from Texture. That ace, it almost brought them all back. Definitely brought back the half.
But it just wasn't enough.
No.
They got pushed. The score does not tell the whole story, man.
And
知道 Legend of
it's just
Wormer
tough
其
as
实
well
出
for Gen G, not winning a single pistol round. That
没有
first
这样早
map truly came down to that. A 13-9.
You don't win against the best in the world when you struggle on pistols that much. Sentinels saw that the first time they played. They made the adjustments that they needed, and you mentioned it was the difference maker on the first, and that closes out the series for them. We're going to throw it down to Zekin, who's standing behind the stage for the Verizon post-match interview.
Hello everyone, I'm joined by Sentinel Zekin. Congratulations on your win, Zekin.
Thank you.
센티넬의 제켄 선수 인터뷰 만나보겠습니다. 젠지와의 두 번째 경기였는데 이번에 센티넬이 승리를 하게 됐습니다. 오늘 경기 승리 소감부터 들어보도록 하겠습니다. This was your second game against Genji and you took it home this time. How was it the second time around?
It was amazing. Thankfully, we got it pretty clean, 2-0 instead of a 5-map series, but we're just really happy to get the win.
오늘 아주 깔끔한 2대0 경기를 가져가게 돼서 너무 좋고요. 사실 다섯 번째 맵까지 뭔가 5게임을 하게 될 거라고 예상했지만 생각보다 빨리 끝나서 기분이 좋다고 하네요. 중요한 순간마다 만나는 젠지, 그리고 젠지의 아이스박스 이전에 만난 적이 있지만 그때보다 계속해서 촘촘해지고 있었던 아이스박스였는데 오늘 맵픽 보고 좀 어떤 식으로 접근을 해서 승리를 가져가게 된 건지 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You know, you've met Genji on Icebox and they've been improving, like their Icebox is known to be flawless, but so when you saw the map pick today, what was your game plan?
Our game plan was just to hopefully shoot better, win on the aim duels. Icebox is such a aim duel heavy map, so usually whoever is feeling it more tends to win. So we just came in with a lot of energy and tried to win all our fights.
You've done it before. Doing it again, right? 자, 아이스박스가 워낙 듀얼 뭔가 에임적으로 중요하기 때문에 오늘도 이전에 해봤던 듯이 다시 뭔가 에임 집중해서 오늘 경기를 치렀다고 하네요. 그리고 다음 상대 플레이오프 진출하고 나서 내일 드로우를 통해서 만나게 되는데 가장 만나고 싶은 팀과 그리고 가장 피하고 싶은 팀 한번 물어보고 싶네요. You're off to the playoffs, but you'll find out your opponent at the draw tomorrow. So I want to ask, who do you want to meet the most and who do you want to avoid the most?
I don't really have anyone I want to play or don't want to play. I'm just excited to play whatever the strongest team is possible. I just want to play the best.
Oh, the strongest, whatever comes your way. 누굴 만나는지 사실 그렇게 뭔가 선호하거나 그런 건 없고 그냥 강한 팀을 만나서 이기고 싶다고 합니다. 센티넬의 제켄 선수 인터뷰 만나봤습니다. That was Sentinel Zekin, and we'll be back after the break to see Fanatics and crew.
I wanna watch the what's that map? Lotus. My favorite map. I missed it just now.
Coming in till the swallow, but it's to lift the trophy. You know,
squad. He ends up dying. Or your perspective.
I mean, obviously it would be.
You too.
A really strong showing, and it's just an amazing feeling to have people supporting us wherever we go.
And that is very of course, but it's something that we can still play at a very high level, and it's going to be more
bammed out, and then it's time.
Look, as much as
페페를 맛봤을 때
Just step aside. We're coming.
We'll get a 2-0 victory over Fnatic. For Fnatic, they still have another life. They still have another chance.
Of course, it feels sad that we lost, but we're still alive in the tournament.
Their Sentinels absolutely destroyed Genji. This could be them saying, you remember that? You remember that time we did that to you? We're going to do it again here today.
Yeah, but then when you look at Haven at the end of it there, I mean, again, there's just so many things. Overall, what I'm expecting here, fellas, is a phenomenal matchup. I think both teams, I think Genji, they're going to wake up. I think they'll go ahead and shake off what happened in the past.
in the long term, it could favor.
Oh, Lotus. My favorite map.
No big overarching changes.
Let's see how they play.
Just going to be straight up. I wasn't sure Sentinels electing to pick up this Lotus versus Genji. Were they going to have something up their sleeve? Were they going to be trying to bring out the deadlock here? No.
They're just going to play each other straight through. And I think that is the best way to approach this. Sentinels realized that in that series against FPX, and they're keeping that trend.
You can get the better reads.
On, and you see, as we see the map kind of lean back towards A, A couple of members across the middle of the map. Locky is the first one to fall.
Yeah, he was the solo man there as well. It's all up to Karen here.
With a classic light armor, the wall will conceal their movements. As Texture tries to get a little active. Texture was an absolute demon the last 2 times these teams faced off.
Yeah, he absolutely shut Zekken out of the series. And he just shut down Celsius.
At least out of this round, Meteor with a nade and a flash at his feet will fall at the hands of Zekken as Tenz looks to get a little bit more active. Will connect onto Munchkin. Numbers the way of
You see Tenz dancing just now, crazy.
Amount too, and it's not getting any better for the #1 seed from the APAC region. Sentinels win the pistol, and very quickly, the last time they played, they won 1 out of the 4 pistols the entire series. They struggled.
And not only that, but it's Zekken getting a 3K into that round, getting momentum. It's something that he couldn't do the last time around against Gen G. And it's something that was able to get them over the hurdle in that grand final in Madrid for Sentinels to take that one home. So this is very important for the side of Sentinels. They need momentum. They're such a momentum-based team.
Absolutely. You know, we talked about it 2 days ago when we watched Sentinels dance with FPX. Zekken, unfortunately, he went -17 in the series against Gen G. Those demons are not that far behind him.
Will just be a C hit right off the rip, understanding that they have all gun advantage, all utility advantage, and it's going to be a clear retake from the side of Gen G. What can they really do? They only have a couple sheriffs on Meteor and Texture. And we've seen this post plant happen a lot from the side of Sentinels. They'll put this deep alarm bot in water with a molly. It's all to delay. And then they'll cycle smokes on default. This is so hard to break through. Zekken's having such a map already.
Dude, it's the 2nd round, and he's already 1 point away from having his ult online.
And he's hungry. He wants more. Here it is. He gets that ultimate.
I mean, when you have that far of an advantage, you really want to push, and that's exactly what he does. So massive for 2 reasons. You mentioned Sentinels, you mentioned Zekken struggling, and how it's important for him to get back online, get the ball rolling as quickly as possible. And I think he's already doing that, 7-1. But also, the showstopper round 3, huge.
Yeah, and they didn't lose a single rifle in the process. John QT, he was sitting on a sheriff the entire time. Yeah, Zekken falls down there, but he got the showstopper like you said, and John was able to pick that Spectre up and now upgrade to a Vandal. And on the other side, it's all light armor across the board. If that showstopper even tags somebody, it's going to do mad damage and probably take out a couple players. But I will say, in the last series, we saw Zekken whiff a couple of those ultimates. So
yeah, think about that bind one, that sword right past the autumn, if I'm not mistaken. Seems like a lot of pings on the minimap towards B at the beginning of the round. Gen G seemingly wise to it. 3/5 of their team is posted up around here for now.
But the mid-rounding, Celsius, while all that front B pressure was happening, took all of C control. And he's farming up his own little orbs right here. Munchkin needs to be careful right here. If he gets carried out, yeah, that showstopper's going to do the damage.
And the thing is here, if you're Sentinels, you don't have to fully commit to this. It seems like they might, though. Tenz is already TP'd all the way across. You've got everything back sight, mowing over Gen G.
An absolute firing squad that Texture just ran into.
I mean, he swings, and it's the most terrifying thing you could imagine.
It was diabolical.
And so now, as the dust settles and as the rest of the round kind of comes to a close, you see Sentinels with a really big advantage here. They're up on numbers. You've got John, who's going to get a little bit closer to having his ult online. Zels is halfway to his. Money's in a really good spot. This is the Sentinels that was missing a couple of days ago. This was the Sentinels that was missing in the opening match of this tournament.
Yeah, missing in stage 2, honestly. Even in the playoff, they barely squeaked in. Celsius gets the quick trade, securing the round. Getting closer to that ultimate. And yeah, Zekken wasn't the one that got that showstopper kill. But Saucy doing his due diligence with that Fade Prowler. Sniffing out Munchkin. And yeah, there's not much you can do in a spot like that against a showstopper and a Spectre.
No, I mean, you mentioned it. He needed to be careful. That was just that's a brutal one and done spot.
Spamming Vandal.
And losing the bonus round, it could feel so bad. Your economy feels like you can never really get it going. That being said, it's going to be light armors again across the board right now and a showstopper of his own for Texture.
Find you. Still waiting.
See if he's able to replicate any of that success. Maybe that's the tipping factor here because you see the buy. It's not great. 2 Stingers and then Sheriffs. For Sentinels, again, a slow start. Pretty metered, pretty tempered, if you will. Just kind of waiting to see if Gen G are going to get active, if they're going to try to take some space and throw something aggressive into the fold, and that's exactly right. You got the paranoia that's out, and they're going to give up some of the same main space, trade the paranoia of their own, but manage to get away unscathed.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that all that C control was already gathered. So there's 5 members here, and the rotations can't make it in time. Sentinels are aware of this.
Well, they've
but
got
they're getting delayed.
You got to be careful here, too. There's a brutal crunch. Remember, Texture has his ult. But once again, fully sending out onto C. Saci will be the first to fall as Munchkin manages to find 2 on the round. There's the ult popped as well. Not connecting onto anything, but Munchkin continues to farm. 3 on the round now. Oh, I thought he had fired it off already. Celsius falls on it. It's just John left in a 1v4, and they're weak, but not that weak. A thrifty round for Gen G.
He may have been in the wrong position in the round previously, but this time he took things into his own hands. He gets 4 into the round, 3 with the Stinger, gets the upgrade. That allows Texture to go in with that showstopper and secure the round win.
United versus Crew.
We may soon learn the identities of more people connected to Jeffrey Epstein. A federal judge has ordered the release of more than 150 names which were previously withheld. They include witnesses and victims in the civil case against Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently serving 20 years in prison for being Epstein's accomplice in sex trafficking. The list also includes some of Epstein's former employees. Epstein, a wealthy and well-connected financier, was indicted in 2019 for a scheme of involving underage girls. He later took his own life in jail before he could be tried. We may soon learn the identities of more people connected to.
我不知道我的牙齿敏感是由于珐琅质流失所引起的。过度刷牙、酸性食物或饮料，还有磨牙。我开始使用 Sensodyne Sensitivity Gum and Enamel， 我真的感觉到它的区别。
Oh my god, this is quite literally what I used to play all the time. I feel like crying.
EZ09 Easy， 他呛我 Easy 耶！哎，刚开台就这么刺激，先跑喽！挂个机而已，妈的，引来一只机器人。哦，没来了，没事没事，没事，小朋友也没多厉害嘛，对不对？他看到我就闻风而逃啊！闻风而逃，哎，大家懂不懂这个成语啊？闻风而逃，好不好？各位知道什么叫做闻风而逃吗？哎西。
Nice game, Micro.
所以我希望我能不要说抽出来了，合出来就好了。光是能合出来，被我挖光吗？结果他现在台子被我挖光了，你看，都白卡、绿卡、蓝卡没了，把台子挖光了，动了吧？这两个有动了吧？哈，又是你，莫妮卡！到底是为什么有老头要叫莫妮卡？哎。双刀的是不是？双刀的，你看盟里面哪个高战双刀的就便宜卖它，便宜卖它就好。那个500这样个人这样。
金罗欺负他退坑了。
等一下我们去打60的王看看，我再抽卡。 对，62的。
62
对，我等下先抽，我现在抽卡一下。
等下10点就直接48跟62一起打。
哎，好啊，10点，我们约10点。
啊，不是60的，60的，62是更后面。
60好，60好。陆续法医很和平，小雨在这，真的假的？啊，你们往那个大家都可以捡，不会亲人哦。都可以捡，要亲人吧？这心灵的部分也差的更少，它就是哦，别搞了，身上还有个鞋子可以做。哎，金卡抽完了，就是提升一些蓝装东西。应该是一堆时装点开。我当初抽这张金卡，我是直接抽到保底才收。那时候身上超多纸卡，为什么？因为我知道这些纸卡里面有所谓的技能。好，我想要假设我今天我要玩巨剑，来，我直接分类巨剑给你看。我当初抽了这个金卡之后，决定我的职业，我就开始身上大概有20几张纸卡，我就是为了把这5招都选满。所以我抽到保底，我没有把那个纸卡先拿去合成。结果后来观众跟我说，技能点开这个时装技能只能装备1个，然后我就做我就合理的分配完，我就多了20几张纸卡，不知道干嘛。这不是技术是什么？我选到小许那个符，小许在哪里啊？他在哪个符我忘记了。我每条都有看啊，这不是技术吗？这也是技术的一种啊！有人能像我这么厉害吗？然后就蹦出双金了，啊，蹦出双金了。那时候还有韩国人来我的台留言呢、他说：“哎、关月，你那个，他说台主，他就说我台主这个凯尔这只副队长凯尔这只卡池很好，可是它本身很烂，就应该是在讲这个技能烂，群体驱散烂。所以，可是我也不管那么多，我就收了。可是现在想想有点后悔。”因为我搞不好转一发就可以中这支巨剑，这支巨剑它的那个灵魂剑刃不知道强不强，一把剑这样喷下来，有看到吗？他召唤凯尔，他召唤一只出来，然后巨剑炸下去。然后你们要看这个变身里面，它还有持有的被动技能，它是加攻击力的。我现在这一只是加减免，这只是加减免。所以我应该把另一只巨剑给抽出来了，可惜了。但是也有可能我转不到啦，因为你们也知道转卡的几率都有设定过。好，我再控一下那个工会的那个。
Game is fun. So rubbish did it. Only in Taiwan. Mantap deh. Wah, 200k. Oh, Mega Break. Wanna play? Oh, I thought I bought already. I thought I blocked Diablo. Where is my Diablo? Is it there? 你有没有讲你是谁耶？
单和5枪都完。
啊，还没有啊？因为午餐肉早上的，不要。 有点失落。但是累了，每个月我也不知道多少钱。所以你是马来西亚人，没有用的啦，现在。没差。自己算。我给的是这个。3个月就会停，买2送1好像。Why so lag? FPS very low. Oh shit. Why FPS so low? Today FPS super low.
If there's something you need, you'll need to pay. I know. 买了你就知道吧。Why Taiwan got nice MMORPG here don't have? How to? The base in Onia. play it. Maybe can play the Nonia. Taiwan server. No, try download. Hey, can play, man. Downloading. Why so lag today? Wow, why so lag today? What's wrong, eh? Unplayable. I think I can download this.